Okay. All right. Okay, watch it not work this time. All right. If the YouTube gods have decided to accept my sacrifice, you should be hearing my voice and maybe a little bit of Parasite Eve. Okay, it's working. Yeah, for anyone that didn't see it, the problem was that I just kept dodging those OBS updates for about 4 months, and OBS decided to finally bring down the hammer on me and punish me for that at the worst possible time. Wait, no music? There's no music? Wait, okay, hang on. So there's no music. Oh my god, maybe it's just too quiet? Okay, let me turn it up and destroy my eardrums real quick. Ow. Is it coming through? Anything? Let me turn it back down. Still nothing? No music at all. Okay, hang on. You got my voice, and that's at least you can hear me panic, so that's a big thing. Alright, properties. Yep, Dell monitor. Come on, man, be cool. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know. Maybe it's that? Okay, what about now? Is that good? I changed tracks all of a sudden. It was on track 2, and I was on track 1. So, yeah, there it is. There you go. Now you can hear beautiful Japanese music that does not belong to me, but thankfully it seems Square Enix is not copywriting it. So, okay. Yeah, it's weird. After solving that, I'm in a good mood, but I'm about to deliver, just the horrible week it's been. Or I guess couple of weeks. It's been a long time. Yeah, a good long time no see. I went ahead and disabled monetization and the super chats. Keyblitz, let me see here. Yeah, Keyblitz got through with a sneaky one, but I went ahead and patched that hole because I don't want money associated with the stupid news I'm about to bring. So yeah, it's been a while. For the first time, I actually have a good excuse about why I haven't been uploading. Let me change that. There we go. Okay, yeah, sneaky sticker, you got me. Everything, the very last stream I did, which was, reading that Graveyard Digger book, everything went really wrong. I went downstairs and I'll try to keep it vague, but I'm probably going to forget 3 minutes later and blurt it out. But a family member of mine just was acting very, very strange, like kind of out of it. She'd been kind of off like the whole day, but you can't really just be like, hey, what's wrong with you? Maybe she was a little sick, maybe she didn't sleep well, because I act like a zombie when I don't get enough sleep. I said this all before, by the way, but it took me 5 minutes to realize my first stream was not putting my video out, so yeah. Anyway, and my other family member was apparently going to tell me to have a look at her, but I realized, first 3 minutes of me talking to her, something was really wrong. I asked her a question, and she was just, blinking at me, and I was like, and it was a simple, pretty simple question. It was basically what happened, and, 3 times, no real response. So I thought, oh, well, maybe she's mad at me or something. There's technically a vacuum going, so maybe that's what it is. But something ended up really wrong. So long story short, she was delirious, confused, not responding the way she should have been, so we couldn't convince her to go to a hospital, so we ended up having to call an ambulance, and they brought a freaking fire engine. The whole neighborhood was out there goggling, so that was fun. Due to COVID, we couldn't join her in the emergency room, and long story short, turns out she had a stroke, but because we really weren't with her in the emergency room, they sent her on her way without realizing it. We got a call at 4 a.m. because we couldn't go into the emergency room. We just kind of waited outside for the ambulance guys. We followed them there to pop out and ask them. They're like, well, with this kind of confusion, maybe it's a UTI, infections can cause delirium like that. And we're like, oh, well, hopefully it's just that. But we couldn't go in to see her. We couldn't talk to anyone. They just took her in, and then, at 4, we sat in the parking lot for a couple hours, and then we went home, and then 4 a.m. she's like, hey, come pick me up. And we're like, what do you mean come pick you up? They're like, yeah, they say I'm fine. Yeah, they're discharging me. And we're like, what do you mean they're discharging you? So we went and we picked her up, and we thought, well, maybe it's like the guy said. Maybe she just, had a UTI, plenty of water, plenty of hydration, plenty of rest. And the thing is, like, the first words out of my mouth when I called the ambulance person was like, I think she's had a stroke. And they had me ask her 3 questions. Like, the first one was, have her raise her hands above her head, have her say this sentence, and then have her smile. She passed all of them fine. So I guess I can't be too mad about the ER sending her home, with after experiencing a stroke. But she really wasn't displaying any of the usual left-handed weirdness or the paralysis or anything. So we took her home, we got her some rest, and then we tried to play a game of cards with her the next morning, because she was better, but still not quite, all there. And, the first thing she said when I dealt her out her cards was, hey, all my cards are upside down. And, if you have ever played a game of cards, it's like, yeah, they're, it's both ways, so they're not really ever upside down. And then the slurring started. Her voice got deeper, slower, she started slurring, and then I finally had the presence of mind to whip out my phone and record it. And you feel like a ghoul doing that, but it's like, if I can't prove to the doctors that, hey, this person is not acting like they've ever acted before, please do some tests on them. So I felt so dirty doing that. I was able to catch a lot of the slurring, and she would ask questions that didn't make sense, or, like she told me to go and help another family member water the plants, but he was going up the stairs, so that didn't make sense. The plants are outside, so... So we said, hey, we got to get you back in. We ended up lying, saying, hey, the doc called. We got to get you in. You got to do these tests, because that's the only way we would have convinced her to go in. And we called our general practitioner, and he was way too busy to talk to us, go figure. So we ended up getting a nurse that actually cared, and she's like, listen, when it comes to memory problems and stuff, if it were me, they do make an exception. Even with the COVID things, they are making exceptions to have an advocate, like someone with her. So just one of you be with her in the emergency room. So, we took that advice. My one family member took her in. There was no point in me going because it was only one person. And he had to sit in the waiting room with her for 4 hours in that delirious state, and she just didn't even seem aware that COVID was a problem, and just, it was... And that's another thing, like all that, preparing, with the food and the masks and the wipes, and then she's in and out of the emergency room and the waiting room for like 4 hours. And it's like, gee, life's got a sense of humor, I guess. So, that's it. And they finally did some tests, and the thing is, it made things a little bit harder because she's actually a brain cancer survivor as well. She ended up having a tumor that was the size of a golf ball back when I was really young, I guess going on 15 years. So they, were like, hey, listen, maybe the tumor's coming back. Could you guys please, MRIs, CAT scans, whatever it is. My family member, thankfully, and a lot of the things is getting past the person at the front desk. They wield a lot of power, so it's like it doesn't do any good to be mean to them or to say, hey, I demand to go past the doors, with my family member, etc., because it's COVID. They're trying to protect their doctors. Like, what are they going to do when all the doctors start dropping from COVID? So, according to the family member that was there with her, he saw 4 separate people arguing, with the desk people, trying to get past them, but saying, hey, no exceptions. Thankfully, that family member of mine's like a networker, so he was able to get in touch with the doc that saw her in the emergency room last night, and he got special permission to go in, and he was able to go in with her, and he stayed with her right up until they moved her up to some 6th floor something or other. Because of her past cancer, she's in the we better make sure she definitely doesn't get COVID, so it's like a special ward or something. Am I okay? Oh, I'm much better. I'm so glad I didn't do the stream 3 weeks ago. I would have been a freaking mess, but I'm all right. I'm not looking at chat as much as I should be, though. Yeah. So they did some tests. They did, contrast MRIs, a bunch of words that, I'm too dumb to know the meaning of. And, there was inflammation and there was a possible stroke, like a tiny infarction is the word they used. And, some Googling, oh no, that's stroke, but everyone's real tight-lipped on saying what it is, the first couple days. And it was we couldn't talk to anyone. Eventually he was able to get her in there, but that night he couldn't go up. Like I said, he couldn't go up to the 6th floor, so it was just me and him, and it was real rough, because she's basically calling us, and here's the thing, like, it's really hard when they think nothing is wrong, because they're like, what are you talking about? I'm fine. I don't know why you guys put, just you can tell in their voice they feel like you did something wrong, or yeah, managed to convince her, just talking to her every hour, saying, no, you need to be there. And she did get better, slowly better over the couple days there. I just don't know how it was a stroke when she didn't show any signs of, like, left side paralysis. I mean, when she got really bad, there was some slurring and slowing of the speech, but there wasn't, anything physical. I'd almost have preferred physical, I'd rather have her personality and mind be there. 1 second. Let me get some water. Yeah, sorry. I'd almost rather they be, her mind be absolutely fine, and, just so, a few physical issues that, you can work out in physical therapy, because, what do you do if they're not acting like themselves, So it's, yeah. It was a small one. A small stroke, they said. So they don't think there's necessarily going to be any permanent or noticeable deficits. They say that like it's good news. And yeah, it is good news, but it's still like noticeable, because, with the brain is some scary stuff. You don't know, you poke something and then something's gone. So I don't know. Yeah, anyway, I don't know why my voice does that. Does it when I'm scared too. Oh yeah, I appreciate the sympathy. Yeah, that's super nice. Yeah, and thanks for everyone being super understanding. It's just been a real rush, because I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like we've really kind of had to fight the system to get what we needed done. Like, we didn't even hear from a neuro doctor until like the 4th day there, and the guy called us and he basically said something like, yeah, it seems like it's not really anything, she's saying that, she shouldn't even be in there, and that maybe you two are just overreacting. And to hear a neuro doctor say that, be like, no doc, I swear to God, I've never called an ambulance in my life. Like, and so I was able to say, thankfully, hey, doc, she's been saying that a lot. She talked her way out of the emergency room. She thinks nothing's wrong. She doesn't remember when we tell her the things that she was doing that tipped us off that something was really wrong. I took some videos of how she was acting with the slurred speech and with the questions that didn't make sense, Oh my God, we were playing Uno and she put down a wild card, a draw 4 card, you know what I mean? So my other family member had to eat it. He's drawing 4, and then I'm like, okay, what? And I was recording this. I recorded the whole game of cards, because if there was anything on there to show someone, to say, hey, listen, this isn't right. I was like, okay, so what color do you want it to be? And she was like, wild color. And I'm like, what? And she's like, wild card, wild color. I'm like, yeah, no, you get to choose, one of the 4 colors, green, blue, red, yellow. What color? And she's like, black. Oh my God. And I got that thankfully on film. And I was like, listen, doc, I've got it on film. I've got her, saying questions, not knowing cards that she's played with us for years. So, and he's like, oh, well, yeah, okay, I'll have a look at that. So I went home and I, compiled a highlight, because he sounds like a real brusque, busy guy. You know how they are. I don't know if my voice is even coming through. So I ran home and I burned that freaking, DVD with the footage, and we ran it back to the hospital. She was also part of some NIH study where they were doing a study based off of the brain tumors that she had. they were so rare, and, the prognosis usually isn't good. By all means, she probably should have died. But they didn't give the copies, naturally to the hospitals. But so I spent like the whole day there just burning it, making duplicates of the CDs and getting everything onto there. So we ran over and thank God, it was so funny. I'm getting the timeline messed up, but we had already been at the hospital just a few hours. I guess it was about half an hour prior, and he's like, you already sent in, the images of, the NIH study, and we're like, yeah, and it's so funny because just as we were telling him that, and some technician comes in and hands it off to him, so it was weird timing, thank God, those technicians are the real heroes there. They were moving, everything, from us to the doctors because we couldn't talk to the guy except over a phone. So we got in the disc and we heard from him back like, okay, we're going to keep her for a few more, scans and stuff, and that was good because it sounded like she had talked him into trying to send her home, and it was like, how is she talking her way out of all these doctors? I mean, she's just, you don't notice it unless like you have an extended conversation with her. If you ask her what the date is, or if you ask her who's the president, she can say that, but I don't know how to explain it, but it's like higher reasoning or like situational awareness. Like she can give you her middle name, she can give you the year, but she couldn't tell you what color she wanted the wild card to be while playing Uno. Oh, and by the way, she fucking won that game. If you ever wanted to say that Uno is just freaking luck-based, she beat all of us. In our defense, I mean, I had several cards. I just wasn't playing them. I was so focused on trying to record her without her seeing me and stuff. So, I mean, in my defense, but yeah. But yeah, it was, so they kept her for a few days, and then finally they did all the tests, they sent her home. She was so much better as the days went, on, like, she was more and more like herself. Yeah, and charisma. I wouldn't say charisma. I would not describe this person as charismatic. Very brusque. Think like angry librarian or strict teacher you had growing up. Just like they talk with an authority that they know shouldn't necessarily have. Yeah, and then as the days went on, she got meaner and meaner, and that's how I knew she was, coming back to herself. And yeah, so she wasn't 100% when we picked her up finally, but better than nothing. And we're like, okay, so what do we do? And they're all like, oh yeah, just make sure she takes, some of these pills and stays hydrated. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like after a stroke, there's got to be like stuff to do. And they're like, oh, well, you can discuss that with the neuro doc, and your appointment is on the 31st of whatever this month was, July, I guess. And I'm like, but that's like 2 weeks from now. So we didn't even get to talk to a doctor until like the other day. So that was great, loved that. But I mean, I should be lucky that we got to speak to anybody at all. Okay, and then just every day was just like between here and the hospital, and just that's what I've been doing since my very last stream. She just wanted to cheat at Uno. Yeah, she won. She got 2 draw 4s, I think is what it was, but I don't know. Doctors have the perception of 1. Well, I don't know. I don't know what was with this stroke, because the stroke affected her like personality rather than her physicalness or her intellect necessarily. It was really weird. 1 year ago, my father, Fetty Fausto, 1 year ago, my father passed away from a stupid cerebral aneurysm. He was really good physically, and then at 57, he wakes up, and after 1 hour, he dies. Think in a positive way. Yeah, we just lost Grant, the cool Asian guy from Mythbusters, to an aneurysm too, or maybe it was an embolism. God, I can't ever remember those. I'm so sorry, Fetty Fausto. That must, and that was a year ago, so you're probably still feeling it. I mean, you're probably always gonna feel it. Yeah, it's hard. It's super hard. Could someone give a quick recap? A family member had a stroke, had a dickens of a time getting her seen and tested because everyone was... family member of mine, yeah, close family member. I'm trying to keep it vague. I mean, it probably doesn't matter if I say it, but you know. So yeah, we've just, getting in touch with those doctors is super hard. It's not like they have phone numbers they give out and stuff. So the best we can do is talk to the nurses and the technicians at the desks and stuff. So, yeah, you would not be able to stream at the best of times. Yeah, I had to give it a couple of weeks. I don't think, I think I would have been a real mess if I tried to stream like a week into it. So, there's so much to the brain that if they don't know, or they might not be able to, yeah, exactly. There's so much to the brain. Like there's the ones that control like your motor skills, and then like your ability to speak, and then, you know, like your ability to do math, and then there's the ones that do personality and like basic situational awareness. Like, you don't watch someone go up the stairs and say, oh, hey, go help him water the plants when the plants are in the freaking backyard. You know what I mean? It's like, what does that even fall under? That's not math. That's not motor skills. That's not communication. That's like situational assessment or something. And it was so hard. You just joined what happened. I had a little bit of a family thing going on, and a family member had a stroke. Here's something to think about. The brain named itself. That's a good point. If you need to take a break, yeah, I mean, I've had three weeks of a break. The reason, I mean, we've technically had her back home for about a week and a half now, or two, I guess. It's all blurring together. It's felt like one long week, to be honest. One of the reasons I haven't had as much time is that I read that like 85% of strokes are preventative based off of lifestyle and diet, and it's like, you know, you can't really tell someone who outranks you in the family like how to eat or how to exercise. So I've kind of just, you know, let her do whatever she wants, and my other family member has, you know, done the same thing. But now I'm literally like just kicking myself. So one of the things I've been so busy is just I've been preparing like every single meal in the house. Like, I'm going like kind of Mediterranean, where there's like a big emphasis on leafy greens, fruit, and lean meats. I actually finally got HelloFresh. I was thinking of doing that at the beginning of the year, and I just, you know, I was like, do I really want to spend the money? Oh, by the way, not sponsored. Nobody's reached out to me. I just did it like, this is my second week on it, and I get the stuff. It's like pretty healthy stuff, and I just like cook it all, and just, I've been running around just making sure, and it's just been hard. It's been really hard, especially that first week where she still wasn't completely herself, and I had to stop her from, you know, doing strenuous things. And yeah, your family's got a history with certain disorders and illnesses. It's not very fun to think about, both for your family and yourself. Yeah, that's scary too, because, you know, you wonder, you see a family member go through this, and you're like, is this going to be me, you know? Because there was those first couple days where we didn't know if the tumor was back. Oh, it doesn't seem to be back, thankfully. Or is this like Alzheimer's or dementia? I mean, dementia doesn't just hit in a week, you know what I mean? And I'm just wondering if dementia does run in the family, that's probably my future I'm looking at. So, you know, it makes you feel like you'd better, you know, be better off not making it to that age where it starts to affect you rather than go through that. Because, you know, my grandfather, I'm not related, but a grandfather of mine had dementia that just, he was a college professor, chemistry, etc. Sharp dude. And then I only really saw him in his later stages, and it just takes everything away. So, and just the drawn out, you know, decades of it. It just, on the family, on like just everything. I can't imagine that happening to the family member that's, you know, with her. So, yeah, real hard. Your mother had a stroke twice. The first time you weren't home, the second time you were home, and you were so scared you didn't go to hospital with your family. Yeah, Dragnov, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's hard. It's so hard. You almost don't want to say it out loud, because, like, if you say it out loud, that somehow makes it permanent or something. And that's, of course, perfectly silly to think, but, you know, yeah, it's super hard. And you almost don't want to be there. Like, you want to run and hide or, like, bury your head or something. But it doesn't, that's not, you know, you can't do it because you can't leave that one family member. Sorry. You know, you can't do it because you can't just leave that one family member alone, you know, bearing the burden of the whole situation. So, yeah. You're really hoping I don't have anything, you know, like that in my future. I think someone on the male side of her side had dementia or something, but that side really isn't known. She came from a very broken side of the family. So if it is, hey, I don't know. Your mom had a heart attack and 2 strokes. Luckily, she's still her. Oh, that's the most important thing. And for the most part, she still walks with a small limp. Oh, she's incredibly lucky. Yay for Kayla. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, for a heart attack and 2 strokes, a small limp is, she got out super, super lucky. That's wonderful to hear. Yeah, it's hard, but we can't just run. You're right, Lestat. Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah. It may not mean much, but right now we're all here for you. Yeah. Thank you so much. I know at the beginning I was going to play a game, but it took me an hour of technical difficulties, and, Yeah, maybe I'll save the game for like tomorrow or something. The stream times are going to be a little bit weird. I'm trying to get 4:30, but I'm having to prepare all the meals, so that kind of like cuts into it a little bit. I'm hoping to trying to get her to take an interest in, like, I mean, she used to kind of cook, but she was never, I would say, like a homemaker in the traditional sense. So, we're making sure that, she doesn't sit down for too long, get the blood moving. Hey, let's go on a walk. Of course, we live in freaking hell, and so every day is 100 degrees. So it's like, it's hard. It's kind of hard, but we're making do. It was harrowing to be the only one to witness and bear with her degrading state. Her faulty memory had gotten to the point of confabulation, and a few instances stated she was 5 years old. Oh, Mr. Streetwise, I'm so sorry to hear about your great-grandmother. Yeah. Wanted to take her to a doctor to cure her Alzheimer's. I hope to God they find a cure for dementia and Alzheimer's. I almost hope that, well, I don't want to say it should take precedent, but man, I'd rather have cancer and just kind of like waste away than have Alzheimer's and dementia and just like be in a weird dream state, until the end. Oh man, that disease sucks. And the worst part is, it's like, I think out of it, all the human body, the brain is like, we still don't really know how it works or like how to help it that much. There was another thing that we were worried about that it was, and part of me, part of me who has absolutely no medical training whatsoever still thinks that it may have had some impact there. Possibly something called SMART syndrome, which is, it stands for like stroke mimicking migraine something, and it specifically happens in people who had radiation therapy on their brain to fight tumors and certain brain cancers, which she had. And it's known for coming back, it's known for like manifesting 15 years or so, like 5 to 15 to 30 years after they had radiation treatments on the brain. And some of the docs were saying that like the swelling was in another place, and I'm just wondering if that's what that was. I don't know. I just don't know much about anything, and that's why it's hard. Your mom is fine now with pills and stuff? Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. Hope this gets better. Sounds like a shit show to deal with, but every bad moment usually... Yeah, she's been getting better. I've been watching her like a hawk for like any of like the baby talking or the thinking she was in a different state, and she seems really, really close. I'd say like 100% or maybe like 99%, but it's like, what if there's like slight personality changes that I really can't detect? I don't know. It's just, that's the stuff that keeps me up at night. Yeah. So it's been rough. Like I'm having to wake up early because like otherwise she'll go down and like just try to snack on random stuff, and it's like, come on, just let's, we'll do some fruit, we'll do some like whole grain oatmeal and stuff, and of course those foods aren't very fun to eat, and she's the kind of person that's like, it's fine, and yeah, it's hard. It's real hard. So I'm waking up early, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and kind of making sure she's not just veggieing out and stuff. So I don't know if it'll make any of a difference, but her blood pressure was high, and so I know that's something you can control with diet. Thankfully, I've been sitting with her and recording it every day for like the last week before she eats something, so it has been steadily going down, and I think that has to do with the fact that my other family member and we just cleaned out all the meat, all the carbs, all the fats, just everything out of the fridge. Just gave it away to all the neighbors, or in some instances threw it away where it didn't seem like an attractive gift to give someone. Which is a shame, because that one family member of mine is a real like grill master, and he just like had like 2 racks of ribs that we had like cooked and then like frozen as like a quarantine thing just in case like there was another meat shortage. But nope, out it went. Okay, you gotta go to sleep. It's Italy and 3 a.m. falling asleep. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope you do get a lot of sleep. No pencil. Your grandma died of a stroke too last year. The worst is when you don't fully realize the full extent of what just happened. That comes later. Yeah, exactly. Sophie, feeling powerless in a situation that matters to you sucks a lot. Yeah, I don't know a thing about the brain, and, I'm relying on people that I can't even meet in person to tell me 2 weeks later, you know what I mean? And then, of course, you go home and you look it up, and it's like, oh, well, when it comes to stroke, the first couple days to couple weeks are the most important. And I'm like, they didn't even tell me what to do, and I can't even talk to a neuro doc until like 2 weeks from now. So yeah, it's hard, but I know it could be way worse. Thank God she had like some military insurance. Otherwise, I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, Eddie, you're the only one in your family that has a rare heart condition called tachycardia, which are tiny holes in the heart causing random episodes and for it to beat a lot quicker. Wow. You're at risk, so yeah. Heartfelt thoughts. Thank you so much. Yeah, that'd be scary. Does that mean that you can't get scared or like have your heart beat too much? I don't know much about tachycardia. I know I was born with a hole in my heart, but I think that closed up relatively quickly. But God, I hope that, I hope that, I don't know what to, I hope that you're safe and that it at least is manageable and doesn't have any episodes or any risks. As a species, we still know next to nothing about the brain. Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's, I guess, lump that in with the ocean and fucking space. And I guess, if you believe in a soul, which, I don't know, I guess, I think, like, in history, like, it's always been, like, in the heart and stuff. I've always said, like, it's the brain, man. You can do a heart transplant, but you can't do a brain transplant. Take care, Ezra. Thank you, Dr. Paladin. I appreciate it. It's probably out of cards, but I hope you've been able to get decent sleep of late. Yeah, the dreams aren't so good. I keep having dreams of that family member bursting in and being like, it's happening again, or like, oh, it got worse or something. So, yeah, just rough. It's a little rough. And I know that'll pass with time. So, I mean, we've had a relatively lucky, aside from the cancer from a decade ago, we've been relatively lucky. So, I mean, it was bound to catch up with us with some bad luck at some point. A few months ago, your father told you that he was having hypertension. Oh, yep, Spanish, that's high blood pressure, I think, was bringing him heart problems. My sister know it all the time. What happened, the problem is that, I see. Yeah, hypertension, unfortunately, the only way to control that, I think, is mostly with diet, just salads, lots of green salads, less salt, lean meats like fish and poultry, which are the least fun meats. Well, maybe not poultry, but it's not like you can eat it fried, you know what I mean? Avaria, after your mom had her brain tumor removed, the worst thing was seeing her change and then having to become the mother. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's hard to tell your family members what to do. You're suddenly on high alert for everything. Yeah, I described it to one friend that had a toddler. I feel like I've got a toddler all of a sudden running around after them, telling them not to do stupid things in their state. Don't hesitate to HMU. I wish I knew what that stands for. I think I used to know. I can't remember right now, though. If you have worries about strokes or symptoms, ER probably gave her thrombolytics in the hospital when she arrived to dissolve whatever gave her the stroke. Yeah. And they say it's a tiny one, but I looked at that scan. It did not look very tiny. You believe in the soul theory. Yeah. What did you miss? Just talking about a rough couple weeks. It's been weird seeing people share so many stories in those moments that we realize that we don't really know each other, but we're all able to empathize. Yeah, that's what I figured. How many of you guys watching or in the chat right now have had your own, either your own health crisis or like a family member's? I would almost say the family members are worse because I don't know why, but they feel like they are. I would have rather it had happened to me rather than her. But yeah, you guys sound very strong for being able to do this. A brain transplant would be more like a body transplant. Yeah. I mean, that's where you are. Tweak, you're always terrified of your parents having some medical expo. I know, me too. That was like growing up, I was always afraid for their safety. Especially because your dad has a lot of underlying medical issues and they basically ignore any diet recommendations. Yeah, right here. And they won't listen to you. And it's like you can't demand that they eat well. So, thankfully, I may not outrank her, but my other family member does, and we just threw out everything that was, like, it didn't have a health benefit. So it's, like, the only desserts we have at the house right now are, like, paleo stuff. Like, it's made from nuts and seeds, and, like, in some instances, like, amaranth, which is, like, a grain, and, like, spelt, which is a grain, like granola stuff. So, yeah. You still watch horror, no matter how much it scares me. Crazy bastard for wanting to work on spooky things too. Yeah, well, gee, It's random episodes, so it comes and goes. The shortest one was 2 seconds. The longest one was 3 hours. I have to go through a diet, be open, exercise. Hasn't happened for years now. Oh, good. Well, at least you can have some control with diet and lifestyle, at least. So that's good news. Let's see. Joe on YouTube, you're currently having eye problems that are common with strokes, so this stream has me kind of freaked out the fuck a little. Apparently my mom has had the same problem since she was a kid. Shoot, well, I hope the doctors are giving you, asking you all the questions and stuff. Eye problems. I heard about that with stroke. When we took her in to see the doc, apparently they did one, like they had her spell earth backwards, and like they checked her eyes and had her read out how many fingers the doc was holding up. Thankfully, no eye problems. It seems like this has been largely personality and intelligence affected rather than physically affected, for better or for worse, I suppose. His girlfriend is making him eat a ton of salad and healthy food. There you go. That is a good girlfriend. High five to her. Yeah, because it's hard when you're, I don't want to say like a female, like, because I think, I don't want to say like it's a female urge, but like to do things for significant others, you just want to cook them all the really nice food. And by really nice food, I mean like comfort food, like nice big portions, nice tasty food. And it's like, I've been fighting that, you know what I mean? I think that's like a human evolutionary thing, because it's like, at least you won't starve, If you're sick, then you know what you need, more fat on your bones so that you don't waste away while you're fighting your illness. But it's like, now I'm moving on to like Mediterranean stuff, so it's like, if we have dip or sauce at all, it's like chickpeas and, and even then, we're not really doing the non-bread to dip, we're doing like cucumbers to dip in the chickpea sauce, the hummus, and that's not very fun because I love bread. Everyone in my family loves bread. My dad's kind of a baker, but so it's tough. It's tough. Let's see. SandClan 19. Strokes can have multiple effects on the brain, physical, mental, and emotional, just like seizures. Your family member won't be 100%, but 99% is hella good. Yeah. That's the thing that bugs me. It's like, what if there's something missing or changed and I just can't see it? Because, like, what if it's just like she's more likely to be angry, or she's more likely to baby talk, or she's, you know what I mean? It's scary. Personality is, scary. Hard to believe that our personality is just right there coded into some gray matter, The scariest thing is when the brain gets a total lack of oxygen. It's so scary to stop and really think about everything. Yeah, I did that once. It makes you really loopy. I was watching Angry Beavers, and it had like on Nickelodeon at freaking midnight one day for no reason at all. And it was like, hey, did you know beavers can hold their breath for like 2 minutes or something like that? And I was like, I wonder how long I can hold my breath. Oh, I got to go upstairs and get this thing. So I set my watch to like chrono to just do it. And I held my breath, and then I launched off the sofa and I ran up the stairs. But I guess I blacked out at the bottom of the stairs, and I had lost like 20 seconds and my limbs were just like twitching, and I was just like, oh, okay. I blacked out. It was weird. Like, I didn't pass out. Like, I was still there, but everything was really distant. Super weird. I get why the kids do that breath holding game though, because it really kind of was a rush. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. How's your day today? Much better. I'm having a much better day today than I was around this time last week. So each week is better than the last. So yeah, that's all I can do. Like you're 22 years old telling your 49-year-old mom how to eat, how to exercise, how to avoid caffeine, to take your medication. It's wild. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. It's ridiculous. And I guess this will help me grow as a person. I suppose be more responsible, Oh boy. Let's see. A family member had a stroke. Yeah. For anyone just tuning in, there's no game. I'm so sorry. You don't have to watch or anything if you don't want to. Monetization and Superchats and super stickers or whatever the hell they're called are turned off. And yeah, family member had a stroke, and it was rough. Let's see. Your dad almost had a heart attack, and now you get scared every time you get chest pains. I know that. Absolutely. That's a scary feeling, isn't it? I just as long as you and your dad are hopefully, trying to get up and move around every now and then, take your blood pressure. I hear that's like a thing to know, to monitor, to see if you're at risk for stuff. Your mom's been having migraines caused by her weight, trying to change her diet to reduce sugar and fat. It's really hard since she thinks she knows better. If you have, yeah, that's exactly mine's case, basically. If you're having issues, I would actually recommend HelloFresh. And again, I'm not sponsored. Nobody has talked to me. I just started it 2 weeks ago. I actually tried Blue Apron, but it said they were sold out until like next month. So I ended up going with freaking HelloFresh. We're paying like $60 a week, and then we get 4 meals, and then we can really add on 5 meals for like an extra $9 if we really want to. They ship it to your house. They say like from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It arrives on like a Wednesday for me. For like $60-something, you get 4 meals. And we're doing 2-person servings, but between the 3 of us, it's really good. And it takes you like 40 minutes to cook, especially if you're like me and you only knew how to cook certain things. And now you're making pasta, and suddenly you're roasting chickpeas. And today I did I forget what it was called. Yesterday I did like some citrus Yucatan bowl where it was basically chicken and, kind of like citrusy fruits and stuff over a bed of like, southwestern rice or something, and I'm mostly doing a lot of the fish and the lean meats one. So I also had like pecan crusted trout. I made that one last week, and then I did barramundi. It was cilantro barramundi or something, which is also a fish, some bass thing. And my family hates fish, honestly, but they're putting up with it. So just go with if you can, go with HelloFresh, because if your mom is anything like my family member, once the box shows up at the door and she's like, what is this? You could be like, hey, listen, we could either make this or we could throw it out. Another big thing was just throwing out everything from the fridge or the pantry that was like desserty. Because I've actually had food go bad at my house because we're too busy eating the junk rather than like the dumb old organic food, which is what we need to be eating. So sometimes you just gotta, I don't know. It's hard though. You need backup for this kind of thing. Vin, I'm so behind on chats, sorry guys. Vin, your twice removed great aunt grew up with your family. She had a disease that never let her progress mentally past 12 years old. After a stroke in her 70s, it reduced to about 6 years old. That's so hard. Because I've seen families that have family members or children that need constant attention and watching, and it takes up so much of your life. Basically, it's like raising a child that never really grows up, and it's just like you're in the constant toddler phase. That's so tough. Kudos to your family and any other family that has the emotional stability to just do that every day for their lives. Let's see. She raised you and your sisters as your parents both worked overtime in federal jobs. You took care of her for years as she degraded further. I feel so much for you. Oh God, this is a walk in the park compared to what you've been through. I'm so sorry, because I know those are years you won't get back, and I hope you're able to have a nice life, despite all this. It's all right to break down. You don't have to carry the burden all the time. No one can follow you for it, and the fact that you're holding up this well is a testament to your resilience. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even told anyone, any of my friends, outside of here. I want to say like real life friends. I haven't even, like during the time that she was in the hospital and that all this was happening, like the group chat, like all my friends moved away last month, like all 3 of them. It's uncanny, and the chat has just been filled with like pictures of their houses that they're closing on and that they're getting, and like the fairy tale bedrooms and stuff that they're going to be remodeling. And like, what do? I can't just like pop in with a text and be like, gee, that's fun and all. My mom had a stroke. Oh, shoot. My family member had a stroke. Well, there we go. I told you I'd slip up. I lasted a while, though. But yeah, my family member had a stroke. That would just, like, ruin the mood. And, like, what am I going to say? Like, spread the misery around? So, it's hard. It's super, super hard. But I almost don't want to tell anyone I know. You know what I mean? Chat skipped. I think I skipped over a bunch of stuff. It, like, brought me back to where it is. Oh, there's so many people sharing their stories. I'm so sorry I can't get to them all. Feel free to repeat it if you really want me to see it. Your mom changed a lot afterwards, so you have to accept this is the new them. Oh God, that is so hard. That's so freaking hard. Which is scary because you go from knowing a person to, yeah, exactly, like that person was not my family member. You know what I mean? That it was like a 10-year-old, It's so hard. It's so hard. Hummus is great. Also, I can forward you my EMT study lists on strokes if you would like. You know, if you have the free time, feel free to, but I don't want to take up any time. I've been Googling like crazy, and maybe that's not, 100%, but I don't know what else to do. I just diet, lifestyle, blood pressure, anti-clotting medication or something like that, so... They've got her on something called, like, Lipitor, and I'm a little bit worried about that because apparently her liver levels were a little high, and Lipitor can affect that, but apparently it also reduces risk of future stroke, but it's like, is she just going to be on that for the rest of her life? I mean, yeesh. Whew, you have to go. No worries. Have fun. Do not force yourself to stream. Yeah. I'm trying to get back in the swing of it. Yeah, I've had a 3-week break. I didn't want to get back on until I was emotionally stable, per se, mostly. And I'm starting to get into a good schedule where I'm finding free time moments where I don't have to necessarily be right next to her. So yeah, it's let me catch up with chat here. You love and use HelloFresh, make it easier to know we have something healthy and we can enjoy cooking. Yeah, it's fun because I get her to sit with me at the table and, help me chop the veggies and stuff. I'm learning a lot too. Your what was referring to me holding your breath. Yeah, it was a dumb thing. I guess holding your breath and immediately launching off of something and trying to move is different than just like holding your breath while walking around because it was hard. Yeah, let's see. Your mother cannot be stopped, buys cakes and... Oh, man, yeah, that was mine, too, basically. Sees treats and everyone who tries to help her is a villain. Cries about not getting dessert after every meal. Yeah, exactly. And until I don't think I could have... I beat myself up about not getting her healthier, but I almost think that I wouldn't have been able to convince her otherwise until something big happened. Because we just every time she's like... I swear to God, we were on the way home from the hospital and she was like, oh, you know what, let's have one last hurrah where I get to eat like a bunch of food, like maybe IHOP, maybe, fried chicken. And we're like, no. You know what I mean? It's like, are you kidding me? At what point does it have to sink in? So it's frustrating, and I worry. I see some of that in myself too a little bit. Your dad deals with seizures and something I can't pronounce. He passed on the seizures to you. Oh, SandClan, I'm sorry. I hope they're manageable at least. Ryushutsu, your dad had a stroke as well back then. It was on worse times too. It was a time where your family was about to break apart and he and mom were just glad to have each other. Yeah. It really does push the family to rock bottom, I'd say. I'm so glad your family is strong, and I hope everyone's doing better too. Let's see. We have to check every label in the house. That was fun. That my dad would cry when he saw the chocolate go. Yeah, my dad was just like, nope, everything out. So that was, he was fed up too. He was disappointed in himself, and I know he holds himself at least partially responsible, even though you can't just dictate what your significant other does, Have a good night. Yeah, yay for Kayla. Thanks for sharing your story as well, and thank you so much for the support. It was super nice hearing from you, and I hope everything goes well. Let's see. At least you can vent on stream. Yeah, it's really weird. I'd be more likely to say it on stream where everything's anonymous and everything's pretty vague versus telling people I know, because then they're like, oh, what can I do? And it's like, well, you can't really do anything. I'm just, sad and stressed, and nothing you say is going to change that. Like, what can I tell them? I can't really say any of that. So I just would rather say nothing, I guess. Yeah, at least you can vent on stream, being hard to bring this stuff up to everyone having positive moments. Yeah, because you don't want to bring down the mood. Yeah, exactly. Their future's like right there. They're making their future happen. Not like me, who's just kind of like stagnated since college, and it's like, ugh, I don't want to ruin that. You're dealing with things, but my friends are doing exact same. You don't want to get to burden them more than they are. Yeah, exactly. They've got problems of their own. Like, there's no point telling them about. And Mario gave me some nice support and advice. He said, just you don't necessarily burden them. It's just that they share the burden, and it was some really nice, wholesome stuff. And I'll work my way to telling them eventually, but it'll be like old news. You're from Argentina. You live in quarantine, so you're a hermit and only chat with people and talk on Discord. Yeah, well, at least you've got that. That's a good thing. I hope you're able to get proper socialization. Me, I was always an introvert, so I'm having a great time with quarantine. This is just my normal existence, so it's like... But all you extroverts out there, I'm so sorry. This must be hard on you. Let's see. Hey, boss, I have cancer, boss. Yeah, exactly. Scribbles, your birth dad died, but to be honest, I don't know much of that. Yeah, mine died due to his job. It was my father's father, original father. He was a chemist, and unfortunately he worked with radioactive materials way back when they really didn't understand, and it killed him of either like, it was kidney or liver or pancreas cancer, and he died when my dad was really, really young. Let's see. Quarantine plus mom's pork chop. It's hard. Can't wait to swim again. Yeah. Hey, no matter what, stay calm and stay positive. Yeah, I feel better. Now that I've gotten this stupid story over with, I can, go back to streaming like, no problem. I just wanted to let you guys know. Sorry about that. I don't know why I went into so much detail, but I ended up doing that. Sorry. Yeah. And thanks for everyone sharing their stories as well. I know it can be really hard to talk about it because it kind of just, especially if it's an old story, it just brings back all those negative emotions, and yeah. Like Eddie says, we're all in this with each other. We're all going through some things, but please find comfort here if you ever need to talk. Yeah, Discord as well. My DMs are open. I haven't checked my DMs or my emails. I've got a bunch of people to get back to and stuff, and it's been. I'm gonna try to go through that next, hopefully. But yeah. Your dog died drowning. Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know how that happened, but hopefully, moving forward, that won't happen again. You don't want to be a burden to others, and because of that, you never ask for help. Yeah, that's exactly how I do it. When I'm hurt or sick, I just kind of like recede and like go somewhere to be alone. I think that it's down to personality types. So there's no need to apologize. You do you. Am I apologizing? I don't remember. I say sorry so much I don't even hear it half the time. I don't know if this is a good time, but do you have anything planned for the channel? Anything coming up? Funny you should say that. I was like, I should try to play horror games like when they come out on launch. Like, I know Amnesia's coming out this year. There's a bunch of other stuff coming out in the next couple months, and I really want to I don't care how much it is, I'm just going to buy it, and I'm just going to play it day one. I was thinking of playing some game. Apparently it's by the makers of Danganronpa, where it's like kind of like a live action FMV game. It's called like Death Come True. It's on Steam for like $15. Maybe I'll try that. Who knows? Who knows, HelloFresh might be in your DMs for that sponsorship. I doubt it, but yeah, sarcasm. There you go. I didn't see the sarcasm, but yeah. Plus, even if they did, I'd feel weird talking about it. It feels like the second, even if it's something I really like and that I use, the second I'm suddenly getting paid to talk about it, it feels less genuine, even though my original feelings won't have necessarily changed. You know what I mean? So it's weird. I don't know. Sponsorships make me nervous. Oh yeah, Little Nightmares 2. That comes out soon. God, I never finished the first one. I got it for PC and then refunded it because my stupid dead laptop could not run it. And then I bought it for PS4. I got the little figure. So either I'll watch a playthrough of it if I can't play it in time, because it's a long game, isn't it? Isn't it like 4 or 5 hours total? We'll see. But yeah. It's a good thing to vet. Yeah, it helps. It helps a little bit. Controlling every aspect of diet will drive her insane. Let her have some cheat foods with moderation. Yeah, absolutely. The big meal we're doing is that HelloFresh diet. We're having, we've got tons and tons of fresh fruit everywhere. Nectarines, honey mango, regular mango, bananas, pineapples, cantaloupe, honeydew, some weird round watermelon, like perfectly round. I don't know what that is, but we'll cut it open tomorrow, I'm sure. And then just like snack foods. She's got like banana Laffy Taffy. God knows why she likes that, but we didn't get rid of that. So yeah, so she's got outlets, thankfully. Gotta go for the night. Okay, getting busy for some reason. Glad to hear you doing better after venting. Yeah, absolutely, Rokai. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you're having a good night and it's not too busy for you. Let's see. Little Nightmares 2. Yep, that's something to look at. Dang and Ronpa. Is that how you say it? What's happening? Oh, a family member of mine had a stupid medical emergency, and we're still reeling from the after effects of it. Some of our routines have changed, probably for the better. I'm preparing more meals now, making sure she gets some exercise, so streaming might be a little weird. I may have to push it back. I don't want to do that because I know a lot of you are, like, especially like in the area around Italy and stuff, it gets later and later for you. But, yeah, hopefully it's just like I'm moving the streams like half an hour later than usual or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Danganronpa 2 or 1? I don't know. I just know that Death Come True is made by somebody who was involved. This is a factoid that stuck with you for a long time. Often people who are found dead of dehydration still had water. They just were trying to make do without it. That's another weird symptom she had. She kept saying how thirsty she was, but whenever anybody handed her water, she would kind of like not really drink it. Yeah, it was super weird too. That's got to be some brain thing. I don't know. But thankfully, we're making her hydrate. Like, we're all saying, hey, let's all have a toast, So we're just drinking it with her, you know what I mean? We're doing everything with her, so. Let's see, since you brought up horror games, Outlast 3 is coming out. Well, let's pray to God that it's more similar to Whistleblower and 1 than it was to 2. Sorry if you like 2, it didn't hit the right chords with me so much. Zero time dilemma with Chad. Yeah, this is the stream, so if you're expecting a game, I'm sorry, we'll have to push that off to tomorrow probably. You have a story similar to mine with your dad. Drove him to the hospital with stroke when you were 22. He had some serious memory issues since then. I guess the hardest part is that you are the adult. Yeah, it's funny you say that. A lot of other people who have similar stories have said that too. That seems to be a running theme with these things. But yeah, it's so weird to start having to take charge and tell them what to do, especially when they're being unreasonable. It's suddenly like your guardian figures have become your own children. It's uncomfortable, and at least this will help me grow as a person. You know what I mean? Time for me to stop being the mooch and take responsibility. So I think this is, yeah. Let's see. My Paper Smile is a good game too. Is that out? I saw someone play I think Mark played, who was that one guy? Mr. Craven or McCraven or something like that. He played, I saw the part he played. Is it fully out or is it just still like in a demo stage? Keyblitz, you haven't been social in months, like in streamings or on Discord because of your situation, so you get that. Retreating's way easier than talking about it. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I'm like emotionally exhausted. Like, it would actually, I was thinking, like, what am I going to do when I come back? And I felt like I couldn't possibly read, like the stupid scary stories that I've been reading. That almost seems like way more hard to do than a video game, because having to pretend to like have emotions and stuff is just, I'm so drained at this point that even playing a character who's like happy or angry is out of the question because I'm so drained. I'm just like a zombie walking around. Is Danganronpa returning? No, I'm talking about a scary game that was made by like the makers of it or something. I've played Zero Escape. Like, I played the original 9 doors, 9 locks, 9 people, whatever, on the DS. I know it got ported to PC, so I might have to play that for the channel one of these days. For the record, the creators are making a new game called Death March Club. Oh man, I gotta play all the rest of the Zero Escape games, and I gotta play Danganronpa before I do that. Okay, Eddie's taking off. See ya. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom and for being supportive to everybody in the stream as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, Avari, you're the same way. You retreat. Yeah, it's just almost easier to just withdraw. Grenadi, your father had an operation in the intestine and almost died. Operation POS. When one of the stitches broke, he had to become induced for 3 weeks, and the docs did not know if he was going to make it alive. Gosh, well, you say almost died, so I'm assuming he did make it out. That's wonderful. That's good news. I'm glad he made it out. What's happening? You missed the first part of the stream. A family member had a stroke. We've been dealing with the aftermath of it, so just kind of letting you guys know where things are at with the channel right now. Are you a fan of synthwave? Oh yeah, super. I'd say more close to like the 80s kind of synth than, I still like new synth as well. Yeah, big fan. I gushed about it when I played the Northbury Grove games. That kind of synth, that's what I like. Okay. It's 3 a.m. Hopefully you don't have work or school. Don't worry. I think, I'll go ahead and end it here. I can go for like another 5 minutes. So if anybody has anything else to say or other stories to share, I'll be here too. Let's see. You have to bounce. I'll see you later, Soul Pelt. Have a good day or night. You like watching people play Outlast 2. Probably won't play it yourself, probably because you're not some weeb gamer. Yes, Outlast, the ultimate weeb game. Yeah, I had to at least watch someone's playthrough and see how it goes. Honestly, I was really scared of it, though. They did get the scares right, that's for sure. Since the table turned, you were hoping to have use some mum classic. Eat this, you need to, because I said so. You'd have 2 children, parent children, and no idea how it happened. Yeah, exactly. I'm having to do that too. Hey, well, if we eat this, then we can go ahead and, do this. I actually had to count down with her when I was trying to get her in the car to take her to the ER. Didn't work. I had to call the ambulance. So yeah. Fruit is a balanced diet key item, not a cheat food. Artificial sugar, such as a slice of cake or sherbet ice cream. Yeah, she's actually a big fan of lime sherbet, for God knows why. I can't stand sherbet. Maybe I just had the crappy school sherbet and that's why. But yeah, we've got her sherbet. We got like banana Laffy Taffy. We're trying to keep her away from the chocolate because it's like, her and I, when we get chocolate, it's ugly. It's like, we're trying to wean her off that. But if she really does have like some chocolate cravings, we can make do. We've got hot chocolate worst case, so, A new game series you should try is Hello Charlotte. Ooh. All right, I'll definitely have to put that on the list to look up later. Let's see. Corpse Party 2. Oh, well, she is a big fan of fruit, by the way. I should mention about the cheat fruits. Like, she grew up in California and Hawaii, so it's like she's a big mango fanatic and, all that stuff, so. Corpse Party 2 is out, too. Really? Corpse Party 2? Does that take place after the PSP one, Blood Covered? Because I know there was, like, a Book of Shadows, which I didn't play. Wow, Corpse Party 2. Wait a minute. Is it like a remake or a port, or is it like a legit new game? What console is that for? Okay, I may have to play that next then. Let's see. Dead Patient gets release date. Ooh. Well, that says October 2019. I'm sorry, 2019. It's coming to PC October 23rd. Yeah, but for like what? I haven't heard about... Oh my god, it's on Steam. Wait a minute. It came out last year. How did I miss that? Oh, look at the little characters. That's cute. I love that 3D model. I mean, okay, it may not have the charm that sprites, like hand-drawn sprites do, pixelated sprites, but that's got a lot of charm and personality. I like that. Okay, that's definitely something to keep track of. I guess it's not going to be fresh off the thing because it came out last year, but, something to do. Apparently the next Lakeview Cabin collection is coming out this year as well. Yeah, absolutely. Boy, I need to finish Lakeview Valley. 999 is a phenomenal game. The PC port has great quality of life updates. That's amazing. Okay, yeah, I'll have to play that for the channel too. I couldn't play Happy Characters. Is that suggesting a Layers of Fear playthrough? I do own that for the PS4. I'd probably just rebuy it for the PC just so I don't have to fiddle with the PS4 stuff. But yeah, well, we'll see. I didn't knowingly make a reference though. I'll say that. Family member, snicker. Synthwave and dark synth give me life. Such great music aesthetics. Lately, I've been on a noir kick. Do you know how freaking hard it is to find good noir music? I've had a dickens of a time, but I've got some stuff. Okay. Right, another minute. Let me just finish the chat, and then I guess we'll call it quits. No pencil. Yeah, sometimes going to the hospital can be so scary, even more with today's situation. I know, right? I wasn't there in the waiting room. There was only one family member allowed, and I left it to my older family member to take her there and make sure she was okay. And it's like, there was an entire section cordoned off specifically for COVID people. Everyone was there. Everyone was coughing. And of course, my family member in her delirious state was taking her mask off to take sips of, water or something while she was in the waiting room. And my other family member was trying to stop her, but it's like, what are you going to do? Make sure she doesn't get water? And it's like, it was so hard. It was so hard. He did the best job he could have, though. She got tested. She didn't have it, though, which means I probably don't have it, and he probably doesn't have it. Although it does take like 2 weeks for it to show up, so who knows? Your dad almost had kidney loss because anesthetics worked a little bit too much. Dear God, I've never heard of that happening. I'm glad he didn't lose the kidney. Hopefully he's able to make sure he regains that kidney fully and keeps it healthy. You came at the end? Don't worry. Long story short, family member had a stroke, and my schedule has changed a little bit. Gonna try and aim for 4:30, or at least a little after 4:30 streams. But yeah, they may not be as often as they once were. Mango, woo. Yeah, she loves her mangoes and papayas and stuff. All right. Keyblitz, hope you're able to get decent sleep. Yeah, the dreams have been easing off. So I'm doing much better. What? Corpse Party just hit me with a flashback of PewDiePie screaming on jump scares. Yeah, fond memories of that. I think I watched Cryotic play Corpse Party, and he called Seiko Psycho because of her weird mannerisms. Boy, I don't really have any, I don't know what to say about it other than that makes me sad too. 2020 really is the worst year. Okay, last thing to say is that I hope everything goes well. From Brigitte Land, dude. Oh, so that's right, France. I hope France is going, hope everything's okay in France. Can't be worse than America, right? Unless they're making it a contest, yeah? Have you heard of Carry On? Yeah, you play as that meat jelly thing and you're eating everyone. It's basically the thing, but you play as the thing. I've never really been interested in horror games where you are the monster. Just because it's like not scary anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a look at it though. I hear that it's good quality at the very least. The original Dead Patient game came out like 7 years ago. Yeah, wasn't it like a cell phone game? I remember being upset because I wasn't able to play it. Yeah, so I think it's like a remaster or a port or something. Don't hug me, I'm scared. Great series. You hate hospitals since I fear they may come out worse than when they came in. Yeah, exactly. I was in and out as a kid just because of her cancer way back when. Like, I missed 4 months of school just because I was in and out with her way back when. Okay, well, it looks like we've reached the end of the chat. Thank you for coming by, guys. It wasn't exactly an exciting stream. It was just me talking for an hour and you guys sharing stories, so hopefully that wasn't too bad. But yeah, hopefully maybe I'll stream tomorrow, we'll see. I've got 2 meals tomorrow, or 2 meals to pick from tomorrow. One is gonna be like jammy pork chops. Not a leaner meat, but I mean, I wasn't gonna say no because she really wanted that one. It's fun, I'm letting her pick out the menus from HelloFresh, so she gets like a lot of input on what we're eating. And the other one is like some sort of pineapple chicken thing. So yeah, lots of menus for healthy stuff. I'm learning a lot for cooking. That's sure true. I used to be afraid of the stove and like searing things and like it spitting up grease, but now I'm not really afraid of it. So I'm growing. Let's see. Sorry, one more comment. God damn it, Cry. 2020's been a strange one. I know, right? It's so weird. I am so desensitized at this point that when I see a YouTuber, I'm not like, oh wow, a cool person just like me. That I used to think that like 3 or 4 years ago. But at this point now, when I see a YouTuber, I'm like, ugh, I wonder what that person's into. You know what I mean? Like I automatically think they're a degenerate. I've just been burned so many times by YouTubers I looked up to. Like I think Raid Wolf Gaming, Yummy Mash, like some of the old OGs. And it's like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's just weird. Can't wait to my inevitable canceling. I wonder what I'll do. Hopefully not anything with minors. But yeah. I shouldn't make jokes about that. That's a dark joke. I apologize. Okay, I'm tired and it's showing. My humor, I lose my filter when I'm tired and the bad jokes I shouldn't make start being made. Gyame Blanchett, I'm sorry I butchered that name. Yeah, when your dad had cancer, the realization comes, shit, he's not gonna be here forever. I know, right? You think your parents are gonna be there forever and then they aren't. He's totally fine now though, so fingers crossed he gets to bury me still. I know, right? I would love to die before my parents, honestly. Well, no, maybe not. That would kill my dad. It would absolutely kill my dad. So maybe not. If only so that he doesn't feel sad. Yeah. So it's hard. It's super hard. Yeah. Yeah, here's to your dad's long life, though. Let's see. Yeah, the chaotic thing came out of nowhere. Especially because he's kind of what inspired me to do a lot of creepypastas and stuff. They say, never meet your heroes, although I never worshipped celebrities or YouTubers. I just had, oh hey, there's that one guy I like, and that was it. So I always knew celebrities were dirtbags, so I guess maybe that transferred over to YouTube. I guess it's just different because on YouTube you see a more human side to them. Because it's like celebrities are on a pedestal. They could either be famous or infamous, you know what I mean? They're strangers, but on YouTube you feel like you know them better. You can't help but get to know them a little bit better because pieces of their life and interests end up in the end up in their channel. Like, I guess this right here, this log, I guess, that I'm doing, this is a bit of my life, so everyone that's listening to it knows me a little bit more than they necessarily would, like with like Will Smith or I don't know, I can't think of any celebrities, I'm wretched. And normally I wouldn't comment on the cry thing, but it does seem that he's said, yes, they were underage. So if it were just like unsubstantiated rumors, I wouldn't even give it merit to bring up, because it's essentially just a rumor then. But if he's, yeah, you know, when they actually say, yeah, you know, I didn't know my girlfriend was underage. I didn't know any of these other people were underage too. And it's like, come on, man. Don't talk sexually to someone unless you specifically have it in writing that they're telling you they're... And even then, you shouldn't do that with a fan, because it's, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I need to go eat something. A lot of dudes coming out of the closet. Skeletons, that is. Yes, of course, skeletons. Are you winning, son? Yeah. Let's see. Here's to dying in a mass tragedy and being buried by people who don't know you. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. I've heard there's mass graves like in Brazil, and like New York is bringing back that island to just dump all the bodies that don't really... yeah, I hope everyone's okay in the pandemic. I also saw something where it was like 50% of the people who recovered from COVID are like showing heart damage in some form. So it's like, listen, I know, but just stay home. Just stay home and be antisocial. It's not so bad. You'll get used to it, and it's all you'll ever do. Just be safe. Don't go in any of those stupid influencer parties. It's really not worth it. I've also heard that some people, like, the reason you lose the ability to smell and taste is, like, it actually messes with the nerves. I've heard some people are coming out of it with, like, permanent nerve issues where they still can't smell or taste anything, like, 3 months after. So it's like, you know, just don't risk it. I want to do a movie night at some point. I don't know how vocal I'll be during the movie night, but I've got one I've got in mind. So maybe this Friday, Saturday. I don't want to say it and then have something go wrong, but yeah, something to think about. Okay. You've been a hermit for years. Social distancing is my normal. Yeah, me too. After college, you just expect to do something and then you never do. It's tough with YouTube celebrities sharing so much of their life because it's a one-way thing, which can create an imbalance when bumping into fans in person. Right, you meet someone, it's like, I can think of that. Like, I've watched PewDiePie for a long time. There was, like, a period where he got, like, really, you could tell he was unhappy. It was right after the horror game thing where he, like, had a cubicle and stuff, and, like, he disabled comments and stuff, and he was, like, always angry with his fans. I mean, not his fans were kind of garbage, to be honest. Like, the vocal minority, anyway. I'm sure most of them are good people. Like, I know quite a bit about him and his life, and so, like, if I met him, I'd kind of know about him, you know, but that's spooky because he has no idea who I am. I have no wish to meet any of my YouTube favorites or any of my celebrities because with my luck, they're awful, you know, but, yeah, you're right, it's weird. And I know some of you to some extent, but it is quite a bit of a one-way street. Let's see. It's tough with YouTube celebrity. Oh yeah, I already read that one. It's like the line from the Rush song, Limelight. I can't pretend a stranger is a long-awaited friend. I can't pretend a stranger is a long... Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Rush, I heard someone died from Rush. That sucks. I never really listened to them. Like, I've got a couple songs, but that's it. That's the annoying thing. No one is talking about Cry. Hate to see him get off the hook. Yeah, and that's the thing about people who have done something wrong. Like, what is the punishment? Like, should he never be able to record his voice in videos ever again? Should he look for a different job? Should no one ever speak to him again? I mean, because ideally, like, you can't just take someone who's done something wrong and, like, put them in a box and, like, keep them there from the rest of their life. I mean, maybe if they're, like, a baby rapist or something, I don't know, but I'm all for execution in that case. But, like, where's the... Because I know canceling is a big thing that's been getting bigger lately. It's like, where's the... I don't want to say comeback, but, like, where's the growing? You know, but then on the other hand, you don't want someone to be like, oh, I've grown, and then they do it again, or like they get off scot-free. It's like, I don't know. It's so hard. That's why I don't know. Because you don't want to let them off easy, but you also don't want to, like, excommunicate them for life. But then again, what about the victims? Like, what does that say for the victims? And I don't know. It's so messy. It's so messy. Jessica Fletcher time. It's funny you say that. My family, while we were cooking, we've been listening to a Murder, She Wrote audiobook. It's called A Murder in Red or something like that. It actually, I didn't know it was recent, but it came out in 2019. And funny enough, it takes place at a hospital where weird shenanigans might be going on. It's a freaking amazing, good audiobook. I would recommend it if people like Audiobook Bay, or if you want to pay for it, if you're a good person, you know, pay for it. Support the writer and the reader. But yeah, good stuff. We should have a Murder, She Wrote thon at some point. Okay, God, I keep saying it's over, and then I keep talking, and I keep seeing more chat. Let's see. What do you think about meeting your fans? I don't think I ever would. I'm not really social. I mean, I like talking to you guys here. This is awesome, but it's like, I don't go to bars. I don't go to clubs. Like, go to someone's house and, like, watch a movie and, like, eat a pizza. That's, like, I do that with close friends, like 4 or 5 people, and that's it. So, I don't know. I'm super antisocial. And not to mention, it almost feels like it's a bad idea for male influencers. Like, say you go to, like, a party with someone, and then the girl, like, later, like, texts, like, hey, you know, he said all these awful things to me, and it's like, no, I didn't, but it's like, who are you gonna believe? Because, you know, it just feels like you're opening yourself up to be really hurt. Like, because there's clout chasing, not that I would have any clout, but there's, like, clout chasers, there's people who are off to, like, make accusations about you, and, I don't know. I hate to go at it with a case of paranoia, but for, like, every 1,000 fans that are super fun and super good, there's, like, 10 that are sociopaths, and that are just like, how can I hurt this person and benefit myself? So, yeah. If you run into them, I doubt anyone would recognize me, to be honest. My voice sounds different. I don't know. I sound different recorded than I do in real life. Usually when I'm out in public, I'm nervous, so my voice is a little higher. I doubt anyone would ever locate me, to be honest. And I don't exactly go out very much either, so yeah. A little bit scary to see your life hasn't changed socially before COVID, and I know, right? Me too. I'm working from home. I need to get a good home working job. And kind of get cabin fever so I don't leave the house at all except for the supermarket. Yeah, we're having to go to the market to get, like, fresh stuff, but other than that, we're just home. You like criminology and stuff because there is no one rule for all. Yeah. Now, let's see. Parents just died in car? Maybe I misread that. Hopefully you'll clarify. I hope your parents didn't just die in a car accident or something. There's also the should legal action be taken question. It never followed through on, but the question's always there. Well, in my opinion, for me to really be, like, I think a lot of, like, you know, you see these victims coming out and being like, oh, he said this to me. Oh, he did this to me. I think you should file a police report, right? Because it's hard for me to say, oh, throw him in jail if the actual victim hasn't taken it to the police. And I know there's an argument for that where it's like, oh, you know, the victims shouldn't be forced to pursue justice. And it's like, okay, I understand that, but the problem is when you don't pursue justice, the only kind of justice you get is basically mob. You know, what do they call it? Court of popular opinion. And the court of popular opinion is kind of fucked. Like, you've probably seen popular opinion, and you're like, what are you all saying? This doesn't make sense. Is it, you know, like, we've seen several trials of, what are they called? Like, trial by social media, and it's condemned people, and then those people have later turned out to be innocent. Like, remember the Progeria thing? Like, people were condemning him, and I mean, he did some shady stuff, but he didn't seem to be a pedophile. Like, the victim who was claiming the guy was a pedophile had 2 contradicting statements. She said, the creep, he never even asked me how old I was. And then in another statement, she was like, yeah, this fucking creep, he wanted to know my age. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, clear lies where the guy gets exonerated, and it's like the court of public opinion was wrong. Imagine that, you know, because everyone's just armchair detectives online typing on social media. So it's I don't know. I have a lot of issues with things that don't go through the proper connections, because as fucked as the justice system is, it's better than a bunch of people shouting on social media, I'll say that. Let's see. That's why I'd hope for an Ezra Chill podcast, chat true crime and random stuff. Maybe I should, like, just some separate hidden channel where I bring you guys on and we all chat about whatever we're doing that month or that week or something. Keep luring her in with the comments now. Doki Doki stream is a great idea. Well, hopefully there's no nudity on that. I don't think there is, but yeah. Have you been asocial your whole life? I've always been shyer. Like, I was always afraid to walk up and talk to kids. I probably should have just bitten the bullet and done that when I was super, super young, because it would have made it easier getting older. Like, and even then, I guess I've incorporated that into my whole life, because if something's gonna happen, it's because other people drag me into it or come to me. It's like, I'm not very good at going to people and, like, you know, making moves and stuff, so it's weird. That's ridiculously weird. I think the standard for fan meetups is conventions, and, like, even then there's the knowledge/power imbalance. Super weird. Yeah. Like, if I met my favorite celebrity, like, I guess, okay, Vincent Price. I mean, pretend he's not dead. Like, I wouldn't be like, hi, let's talk for, you know what I mean? I'd just be like, hey, love your work, you know, stay healthy, or something freaking awkward. Like, that's exactly what I would say. And then I would leave very quickly. I don't understand, like, and you see a video of people dropping off their kids outside these social media influencers' house, and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you standing outside this guy's house? Why would you go to this guy's house? He doesn't know you. He's a performer, you know what I mean? I mean, he's probably got some of his true personality in there too, but most of the cases, you know, we're hey, you know, doing something in front of a bunch of people, and we've got to be entertaining, you know, and that's different than come to my house and let's, I don't know, it's weird. And I don't even get the celebrity picture autograph thing. Like, why would anyone want an actor's picture or autograph? Like, I think Vincent Price is neat and all, but, like, unless he pulled someone out of a burning building, and then even then, like, a picture and an autograph doesn't do anything. I don't know. I just never understood celebrity worship, so I'm talking from a completely different point of view than I think most people would. Editing? That's a good job. Oh, is somebody an editor? That is a soul-sucking job. You know why I live stream? It's because I hate editing. But yeah. God bless the editors of the world that have to listen to our stupid voices on repeat over and over again. What really scares you is that everyone just assumes the worst and deems the other person guilty despite no proof. Look at what happened with James Charles. Yeah, pro-Jara, James Charles. There's this, and I hate this narrative where it says believe all victims, and it's like, but you don't know if they're a victim or not. The only way you know if they're a victim is by asking questions and seeing proof and stuff. And it's like, I mean, you remember that believe all victims got us the fucking witch trials, right? Someone pointed at someone and said, you know, hey, they did this to me. You know, they cast a spell on me. I've been having a really bad headache for a week. Really? Oh, well, I don't want to doubt you. Okay, throw him in the fucking river. If he floats, he's a witch. You know what I mean? Like, just mob rule is scary. And when you just believe people without proof, you get mob rule because nobody's allowed to dissent. I don't know. I don't like it. I would be afraid to be a male influencer on this friggin' site yeah. Let's see. They don't file with the police because the police ask questions. The mob just believes it doesn't question. Absolutely, 100%. That's why I don't like mobs. If there's a popular narrative, that's what the mob goes with. And if anybody tries, like, and you've noticed this, if someone in a big group of, like, one opinion is like, hey, wait a second, but what about this? Or, actually, that doesn't line up with this, that person is automatically, like, shouted out of the group, or that person becomes, like, a criminal themselves. I don't like that. I don't like mobs, I don't like groups, I don't like crowds of people. The minute you get like more than 20 people, I don't like it. I don't know. Let's see. 5G made me do it. I think that's what makes it rough, because you want to believe a victim, but on the other side, it's just what they said. Once public opinion gets a hold of it, people can be destroyed. Yeah, exactly. There's that horrible balance of, on one side, you're ignoring someone who had something bad happen to them. On the other side, you're believing a liar that wants to hurt someone, and they got something to gain from that, or they're just upset at that other person. Like, I actually just saw on one of my fail videos a little while ago, this chick was having an argument with, I guess, her boyfriend or something, and a security cam caught it, and she started banging her head on the window to, like, give herself cuts and bruises and stuff, but thankfully the security cam caught it. And I just saw another video where, like, a cab driver, an Uber driver there in Israel, he told the lady who got in the car that she couldn't smoke, and it turned into a big argument. And then she's like, I'm going to call the police and tell them you raped me. And she does it. And the police come and like grab him. But the thing is, he actually had a secret dash cam that like recorded the whole conversation. And she started like hitting herself and stuff. And it's just like, that guy's life would be ruined if nobody dug into it or if he didn't have evidence. So I would be very, very afraid of people who insist that you don't need evidence or you don't need proof. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just afraid of humanity. I have never liked humanity, and it seems like social media is empowering them to do awful things with no consequence. It's hard to verify the result of punishment. If we adjust based on recent record, then the executive part of the law is interfering with legislative branch. See, that's, I don't even know. Oh God, I'm so behind on the comments. Yeah, like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. She took a chunk out of that guy's nose and smashed a bottle over his finger, and nobody's saying boo about that. And also, who's the one that actually had the cops call? You know what? Being abusive is not just like something you wake up one day and it's like, you know what, I'm going to beat the shit out of my significant other. It's a personality trait. If you want to look for abuse, you talk to everyone that person's ever been personally involved with. And Johnny Depp, nobody seems to be saying anything about him ever touching them. But you know who does have a history? Fucking Amber Heard. Her previous girlfriend had her arrested for abuse. And then Amber Heard was like, oh, well, the cop was homophobic. She didn't like that I was a lesbian with a partner. And then it turns out that the cop that arrested her was in fact also a lesbian with a partner. And it's like, how did anybody pick up and run this story? And it's like, I'm so upset. I must be crazy because it feels like the whole world is crazy, and then that can't be it, right? I don't know. I need to stop because I am starting to talk about politics. You would pay for a Keanu Reeves picture? Yeah, I guess if it's a celebrity you really love. I guess I've just never felt that kind of love for any particular celebrity. Let's see. Have you played Broken Sword 1? Was that the one where a clown walks into a Paris cafe and then blows it the fuck up with a bomb and then jumps into the sewers? Is that Broken Sword? Because I played 10 minutes of it and I'm like, this is amazing. And then I moved. So I didn't get a chance to go very far. If that's the one, if that's Broken Sword 1, then I love it, but I haven't played it. Editing takes dedication. Editing just sacrifices pieces of your soul, like 1 second at a time. Vincent Price, I am now imagining him narrating everything. Vincent Price was awesome. Him, Alan Rickman, a bunch of cool people. And David Bowie. Everyone I like is dead. All the celebrities I liked are just gone. You met like one person you looked up to in real life before at a comedy gig, and all I said was, love your work, dude, and left. See, there you go. There you go. You and I are normal people. Because like I would be too nervous to ask for a photograph. What am I gonna just do? Like come up and demand he do something for me? That's weird. I don't like that. Let's see. Charismatic dictatorship reigns in mobs. Yeah, whoever's the most smooth or knows the most people usually is the one leading, and that's not necessarily the person who's right. If he floats, he's a witch. Guess I'll sink. Well, if you sink, then that means you were a good person. So there's that. Let's see. You disagree with the premise of this? Of what? I'm not sure what something I probably said. Yeah, I probably said something wrong in there. Stay misanthropic, cursory, my favorite internet personality. Oh, I don't hate humanity. It just keeps disappointing me. And I'm wretched too, to be honest. But at least I don't try to ruin people's lives. I've got that going for me. I'm too wishy-washy. Let's see. Jess M says, so sorry to hear my dad has a stroke last year. He made a full recovery. Oh, that's amazing. Thank goodness for that. But it was pretty rough and goddamn scary. I hope that's the case for you guys too. I hope so too. I really hope so too. But yeah. Just watch that blood pressure. You know, you guys can get your blood pressure taken, I think, at just any old grocery store. A lot of them have them. Just see how you're doing. Make sure your parents get checked too, because it feels like they'll last forever. Because they always have been there forever until suddenly they're not. And then everything goes wrong and it feels like you're in a dream. Do you ever think that maybe sometimes just that weird thought that maybe you died or something, like after high school or after college, and this is just some weird, like, purgatory or something? I don't think that seriously. Like, I'm not about to Inception yeet myself out of a window screaming that it's a what do they call it? It's like a computer thing, a simulation. I'm not about to do that, of course. Of course it's reality, but it just, sometimes it feels like everything just, didn't go the way it should have. I don't know. The more you see how people treat each other or how rough the world you can get, the more you hate the world. Yeah, there's a lot of good people, though. And I shouldn't let, the negative mobs on Twitter, like, represent the whole world. It's like when people complain about toxic YouTube comments, and it's like the majority of the people are really nice, but the ones that are saying the most atrocious shit are the ones getting the attention. And that's like when, I always think, like, for YouTube, just don't acknowledge them. Like, if you've got the energy to acknowledge someone that's saying something nice and that you want to engage with. Don't spend the energy, trying to argue with, people who aren't reasonable. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Having breakfast at the moment. Hope it's a good breakfast. You refuse to trust people. Whoops. Yeah. And you know what? I don't want to say don't trust people, but don't just open yourself up to be hurt if you don't know them very well. You know what I mean? Like, honest to God, if I were a freaking male and I was just like hooking up with everyone like all these YouTubers are, before and after every sexual encounter, I would be like, hey, I don't want to, that's so freaking weird, but at least have it down on paper so she can't literally later get mad at you, like over a breakup and say, oh, by the way, the last 3 years was physically abusive and entirely rape. And it's like, it's just, because a lot of these accusations you see happen after years and years of stuff. So it's, I don't know. I just don't know, because I don't want any actual victims to get left behind or cheated out of justice because of a lot of bad actors. So, but I do think the bad actors need to be held accountable. That's the first thing. All right. I'm done, and I am done, and I am dumb, and yeah. I have to go. My eyes crying myself out of tiredness. Have a great day. Yep, have a great day as well. The Clown and the Bomb, Broken Sword 1. You should play it and finish it. It's just a story without any worries of the current year. Yeah. Do you have a dog? What breed? Toy poodle. Just like, okay, she's supposed to be a toy poodle, but I'm pretty sure she's like mixed with other stuff, but whatever, we don't really care about that sort of thing. She is, she took after her owner. She is super anxious and stuff, and yeah. So, yeah. Your life is a bad episode of Inside Number 9. Wait. I thought you said Mighty Number 9. I was about to say, no, that's like super hell. Okay, Inside Number 9. Oh, that's right. That was that British TV show you showed us. Oh, yeah. For anyone that needs a good horror TV series, Avaria has shown us something called Inside Number 9. And it's each episode seems to be different, although I have seen callbacks to previous episodes. So, yeah, if you're looking for something to put on, pretty good. Oh, man, I hope your life is better than that. I swear to God, I thought you said Mighty Number 9. And I was about to go, what? All right, I was about to hit you with the no, I've never thought of that, or you're a strange one before you said it wasn't serious. I get the sentiment, though. Yeah, it just feels like your life didn't go the way you thought it would. And by, yeah, so I don't know. You pictured something different. I guess that's dissonance. All right. I hope you guys have a lovely day and have a wonderful night. I'm so glad I got the stream working, so that was super cool. Hope that hour and a half of me blathering wasn't too bad. Thank you for all your support, and anyone that's going through something hard right now, feel free to mention it. I know people in the comments are super supportive, and a lot of people in the comments, as I figured, have also had their own trials, like specifically around family members and medical issues. So, yeah, be strong. Just take it one day at a time. You can't help anyone if you destroy yourself from the stress and the worry. And yeah, watch that blood pressure. Eat your greens, man. It's not so bad. Just I don't know, get HelloFresh or something. It actually teaches you to make healthy stuff that doesn't taste like garbage. So. Good stuff. Not sponsored, by the way, so yeah. All right, probably see you tomorrow. I'll probably play The Librarian. It's a quick, 20-minute game. If I have a lot of time left over, I could give reading a try. I'm feeling a lot better now, so we'll see. And I'll be going through my email and my DMs and stuff, and I'll get back to everybody that's been waiting on stuff. So, yeah, stay strong, you guys. Hope everything goes well for you this night and tomorrow, and I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Goodbye. Have a good night. See ya.